Hello and welcome to the Mill P Writes Newshour. I'm your host, Greg Miller of millpwrites.com, author of Demons Within, co-host of the Demons Within podcast, and of course, your host for this show. So to start, we have a very special report. Now, this one affects pretty much everybody. It affects everybody. And by everybody, I mean my immediate family members and the close friends of my brother and sister-in-law. Because yes, Greg Miller, newsman, has a new nephew. And this is a miracle child, and I could not be happier. There was a time when I thought that I would never see this day. I was at the grips of alcoholism and seething depression, and I was at the bottom of the barrel of despair. And I fought my way through it. And yes, I'm making everything about me instead of this precious child. But of course, I am just elated to have this child in my life and to be able to hold this baby and proudly say that I will be there for this child for the rest of his life. That child will lack nothing as long as I am alive. And that's just the bottom line because Greg Miller said so. So now with that out of the way, let's move on to our first story. So CNN. They just published a new story saying that nearly 15% of children in the United States were recently treated for mental health disorders in 2021. And that's like the whole article. What's the point of the article? What's the implication here? What are you saying? Is that good? Is that bad? Is that anything? Or is that just life? Because sometimes life is just that. It's just going to the doctor. It's just doing this. It's doing that. It's doing those things that you have to do to make sure that the head on your shoulders is screwed on correctly. Now, I'm not exactly sure what stance CNN is taking here. I'm not a doctor, but I am a newsman. And newsmen, of all people, know more than doctors. That's just a fact. Still, don't take anything I say as medical advice. Disclaimer. So they go into the different demographics. Various minorities seek help less, according to the article. I'm pretty sure that has a lot more to do with health insurance, which is a crazy thing in the United States. It's a crazy thing. It's like, okay, let me pay for this health insurance just so when I get hurt or sick, I have to pay more to get treated. Or I just don't have it. It's like the more money you make, the more you have to pay for health insurance. If you don't have any money, you get free health insurance. But if you're somewhere within that gray area, you're poop out of luck. Your luck is out of poop. I don't know which way the phrase goes, but it works. Now, what I can tell you is I don't know where I fall when it comes to these statistics. I just hope everyone gets help when they need help. I hope people can let the stigma wash over them like water on rocks and just know that getting help is the way out of these problems. They also have a whole bunch of crap in the article that I didn't read, mind you. You know how we operate here in America in 2023. Did not read the article, though I do know the facts. How? Don't know. Maybe it's the glasses. So anyways, it got me thinking, I was never on medication when I was a kid. Looking back, I definitely had hyperactive symptoms. Definitely couldn't pay attention. Definitely would explode with anger and rage if I didn't get my way. Definitely in second grade in Mrs. Hockmuth's class, I would stand up and go in the back of the room and do karate, even though I never took a karate class in my life. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, I just don't know what this article is about. It's just like, here's a bunch of statistics, and then, take it for as it is. Take it for what you will. But yeah, I don't know, I'm just me doing me things, looking at things and doing stuff. All right, so the next article, the next piece of news that we're going over on this amazing elite Mill P Writes Newshour is a study recently came out saying, and hold your butts onto your seats for this one, because this one's going to blow you right out of the water. It's going to blow you out of the water. I don't know why your seat's in water, but if it is, you will be blown out of it, so don't worry about getting wet. So they're saying here, they have discovered that our moods and behaviors negatively affect the moods of our romantic partners. My head almost exploded when I read that. It's like, you're telling me that when I'm an asshole to my girlfriend, boyfriend, or they friend, that it affects them negatively? Holy crap, this is groundbreaking. This study has broke new ground. To be honest, I just can't believe it. And I'm clearly being sarcastic. This is the most obvious thing in the world. Did they actually fund this study? Did this study require funding? Literally just look at anybody in the world who's ever been in a relationship and be like, hey, when your partner's in a pissed off mood, being a dick, being an asshole, how do you feel? Are you in high spirits? And the answer will most definitely be probably not. Probably not. Definitely, probably, maybe not. It's like, I think back on all my relationships. I think back in my most recent relationship. In our whole relationship, the quality of our relationship was almost fully dependent on my mood because my moods were volatile. I was a dry drunk for most of our relationship at the beginning when I wasn't drinking, but I wasn't doing the work that needed to be done to make me a functioning member of society and a good boyfriend. And then once I started drinking again, I mean, come on, the gloves were off. The gloves were off. The gloves were off. And by off, I mean the gloves weren't on. I mean, I was very, very attracted to my partner physically. Physically attracted, and even just a hug, I'd get a ESBD. I would get a case of ESBD from a mere touch, from a mere hug. And it just didn't do anything. It didn't help. The level of physical attraction you have for somebody does not necessarily mean that things are going to be okay. I mean, this isn't rocket science here, and I'm clearly no expert in relationships. I'm a single newsman. How many newsmen are single? I mean, you're on TV. You can have your pick of the litter. Your pick of the litter. So the article goes on to state that the reasons for this are not clear. And again, am I the only one, literally thinks it's the most obvious thing in the world? Or most obvious thing in the world? It's like, yeah, I'm just hanging out with my girlfriend and, I'm in a bad mood and I'm being an asshole and I'm having a bout of depression, a bout of anxiety, a bout of intermittent explosive disorder. And she's just peachy. She's just peachy and creamy. That's not how it works. That's not how these things work. I believe they use the word a symbiotic effect. I mean, what am I, Spider-Man after I found the symbiosis? The Venom thing, the Venom monster. So a little further down in the article that I didn't even read says that there were 320 participating couples in this study. Again, the fact that a study like this was funded is mind-blowing to me. Absolutely mind-blowing. It's like, hey, let's just funnel all this money into a study about something that's the most obvious thing in the history of mankind. It's top one most obvious thing in the history of mankind. And we're going to funnel a little bit of money into it. And by a little bit, it's probably a lot because there's 320 couples that participated. That, if my math is correct, glasses, 640. 640 human beings were in there. I mean, some are getting pissed off. The girlfriend's pissed off. The girlfriend gets upset. The boyfriend gets upset. The they friend gets mad. The other binary they friend gets mad. It's like, come on. Get with it, people. Get with it. So then the last thing that the article says that I didn't read was that the correlations were weak and may not be clinically significant. Well, I didn't realize it took a clinician to verify the fact that when somebody's in a bad mood, other people can also be in bad moods. I mean, this is like bad mood 101. This is like if you're a freshman at a bad mood college and you're going to your first bad mood class and you read the syllabus of the bad mood class and it's like, hey, what do you think of bad moods if you're with your partner and you're in a bad mood? And it's like, come on, it's literally the first day of class. It's the first day of class type stuff here. It's like, come on. So yeah, I just don't know, So that's really the news we have for you today. Just a couple things I went over, everybody. This is what I'm here for. Just one man spreading the message of recovery, spreading the message of joy, spreading the message of love, and telling people to be nice to their girlfriends and boyfriends or their they friends. Look for demons within. Look for demons within. We got the proof copy. It's coming through. Look for Greg Miller and Peter Montesano, a.k.a. The Job Pete, on the next episode of the Demons Within podcast on all platforms. And that's all I got for you today.